Welcome to Never a Dull Moment. I'm Greg Blythe, and today we have something amazing and special to share with you. Through the kindness of TokushuKnife.com, Tony has gifted us the Nano Hone product so we can bring a review to you. We appreciate them, so please, Tony is one of the distributors and dealers for Nano Hone. I promised that even though that these were given to me, to give it an honest review. You guys have seen me. I've obviously worked with a lot of stones. So let's get into it. This company is an American-made company. And right off the bat, when I was pulling these stones out of the box, you could tell that there was something just a little bit different. Nano Hone makes a lot of products. And today we're only going to review one thing. Two things actually. We're going to review the stone stage and the actual ceramic stones that they make. With that being said, Nano Hone makes ponds, not this one in particular. They also make ceramic, like diamond bonded resin, strops that are super long. Beautiful stuff. Definitely on the pricier side. The stones themselves start at 65 and go to 110. 65 starting at the 70 micron or like 200 grit. They offer a 200 grit, a 400, a 1000, a 3000, a 6000, and then they jump up to this 10,000. Now I want to share with you just the details that they put in this stuff. Just the boxes alone. Whenever I was getting everything out, I just thought it was packaged very nicely. Very insulated. They put a card in there for you to share with you. How to care for each of their products. So the card is not even just for one product, it's for other things like their ponds and so on. But this aluminum, this anodized aluminum plate, it's thick, it's beautiful. And it comes, with each of the stones in front of you. They're all color coded so that way you can differentiate. And the packaging itself was just really nice. A little something different than what I'm used to seeing. It was just funny. You immediately knew that like the sizes of the box were precise because even I had trouble getting some of the boxes open because they were cut like to measure. I had to make note of it to my wife, and she said mention it during the show. So we are going to work with the knife today on this product. The Nano Hone product is to me, it's kind of legendary. I heard about it. I always do things in front of you. I have not used it yet. It's literally out of the box in front of you right now. I chose a knife. It's a steel. It's a great steel. It's a little bit harder to get the like super amazing edge, but you can get an amazing. This is the VG10 steel. You can get an amazing edge with this. So this is obviously a Takayuki. This is one of their hybrid shapes. It's kind of a bunga, it's kind of a sentoku. This still has a factory edge. It's super sharp, so we're going to dull it now. I want to show you guys real quick before we do that. We have the sink bridge, we have the stone stage. They do make a sink bridge, and all of this that you have seen here today is available on TokushuKnife.com. This thing is 4.2 pounds. It literally has weight. And it comes with two pegs that protrude from it. And it's designed to like perfectly like fit, with all of these stones. Okay, so that these things don't move. It is, they did a really good job. Okay, so we are going to sharpen this knife. Super excited. They make a sink bridge. We do not have it here. It is in the, I think it's $110, $114 range, and it does look amazing. I think everything that they've done is a high quality so far. So what they did was on the back, they ended up sharing measurements with you, metric, as well as like the grit that we're used to. So it said originally they started off with like 70 micron, 35 micron. They didn't have the 200 grit, the 400 grit. They do have it on there now. So we are going to dull this knife. We are going to sharpen this knife. And we are going to check the flatness of the stones. They're supposed to be extremely flat out of the box. So, so I'm excited. So we're dulling the factory edge knife. By the way, this knife also came from Tokashu. It was not gifted to me. I will point that out. So this is one of my own personal knives. This is obviously the most painful part of the show. Yeah, this is okay.
Make you wanna cry.
I'm. Let's see if this thing is dull. Okay. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. My wife, I'm looking for another sponsor. So my wife's going to give me one of my amazing energy drinks. Give me the C4 right in front of you, please. There you go. Nope, just, let's move forward. So C4, if you're out there, I'll tag you in a post. But yeah, we were up this morning, my wife and I'm trying to work on the girlish figure. So it's been a long day. Okay. So, for the very first time, let's get this 200 grit. I'll go and show that to you. 70 micron, 200 grit. Like I said, they're all color-coded. These are like a true splash and go.
Yeah, and one thing to note that's random that your wife notices is all but 2 of them have cute little animals on them.
Oh, all but 2 of them have cute little animals on them.
Well, I mean, look at their little faces.
There you go, folks. And they have different animals on them.
Exactly.
Okay, so these are like 100% splash and go. I mean, right off the bat. So the lowest grit I personally have worked with is 220. This is a 200. So this will be interesting. Okay, so I'm getting a feel for it being in this pond. It has the sound of a 200. I think that I think like the King 300 feels grittier. I'm not saying it's not cutting. I'm just saying this one doesn't have that gravel road feeling that the King 300 has. You know what I didn't do? So Hap Stanley is really big. If you don't know about Hap Stanley, so Hap Stanley is an American producer of these, and one of his things is that he really wanted to make sure he gave you a quality product. So these things are supposed to be like really even. Actually, we don't have them here, but the lapping plates that he makes, which are quite pricey actually, they individually number them, and they have inspectors individually inspect each one of them with a certificate of like flatness and everything from the company. And that's like another level we hadn't seen. So we're going to quickly go ahead and make our grid. So I'm going to tell them a 200 and 400. A 400 and a 1200. And I'd say it's pretty flat. If we took like an extra second on the end that's pointing towards you people,
It's still pretty even.
I would say it's pretty even. So again, this is VG10. So this pond is not part of the system. This is a polycarbonate tray that I get from a restaurant supply store. I always put a link in the description. You can get them on Amazon. Obviously, a 200 grit's going to make quick work. What I like so far is that there's a burr, but it's kind of in the micro burr family, meaning like, you know, maybe it's the steel, but it's not, it's there, but you know how sometimes the, we've left the door open on the refrigerator. With natural stones, you always get like a micro burr, which means you're not removing like too much metal, but you're achieving your goal. Starting to sound like a gravel road. Now, you definitely, like again, Hap is real big on making sure you keep your stones clean. Even though I saw some load up on there, I didn't feel like it stopped cutting. At no point in time did I feel like that it was not doing its job. There we go. I mean, what would you expect from a 200, but like, you know, really quick reaction. So you can see, I mean, that does not move. I mean, and the base is in water. It's got this kind of rubber on there to help keep it from sliding. I have not put it on like a normal surface. This stone is done. So let's do what we're supposed to do, and let's clean this up real quick. I see that the load is not staying, which is nice. Keep the base there. We splash and go. Now, this 400 right off the bat is a lot glassier than a normal 400. I mean, it feels more like an 8 or 1,000. So they refer to it as 35 micron. Now I'm super picky when it comes to the heel and stuff. So it seems that I myself, there it is, was having a little bit of trouble with the heel today. That's a me thing. You can tell it got a lot quieter on this 400. Normally a 400 could be kind of loud. I mean, we're done. So what's funny is, so this system, it jumps up from a 600 to the 1,000. Let's get a close up of those cute animals.
I don't know if they're cute. I'm just saying.
I don't know what we got there.
I'm not sure.
Is that like a bear?
Looks more like a wolf or something.
Okay.
I don't know. But we forgot to flatten the last one. So.
You know what? Okay, so my wife is saying we're supposed to do some flat check. Flat check. So let's do that real quick. You can tell this one's just super glassy. There definitely wasn't any low spots. This is the 400 Atoma. It took a little extra second to clean that. All right, so now they all seem to have like this, like same color in the stone. Like, so even though the back is colored differently, I would say the color of the ceramic is the same. So if you were just looking at the stone from the top, you wouldn't know what you were working with right off the bat. This 1,000 is really nice. Glassier, it seems like, than a normal 1000. It doesn't lack the aggressiveness that you want to be there. So obviously at some point, these stones will enter into our new series, Whetstone Wars. If you haven't seen the first episode, it was really cool, different ending than what I thought was going to happen. We are going to be doing battles against all kinds of new coming stones versus champion stones. So again, okay, so the first two stones, I think, and I'm going by recollection, 65 and 65, I think we jumped to 68 on this. That is done. Let's clean that a little bit better. Let's do our best to leave the world in a better place. So for those of you who are wanting to know, if you haven't watched the show before, that is just a rust eraser. That is the medium grit rust eraser. Okay, so now we're jumping up into the polishing area. So this 6 micron 3000. Yeah, that was even. That was real quick. So for those of you who might not know and you see that happening, so the Atoma with its grit, a lot of times it makes like a vacuum kind of a seal. So when I lifted the Atoma, it lifted it like off the plate. But you can see it's steady. It's not moving. So we went from a 1000 to a 3000. Again, you can see the color of the stone is the same. Super glassy. In case you also don't know, like 3000 normally is as high as you would ever need. I mean, unless you're wanting a mirror polish, the hazy Kasumi finish that you would get is plenty to have great knife feel. I mean, so you really could jump in here and grab this. Now, like I said, they go from the 3 to the 6. And then it jumps to the 10. There is no 8 in the system, in case you were wondering. Nice mud. Super glassy. I mean, honestly, this 3000 feels easily like a 5 or a 6. So I think this is a $79 price point. So you went 65, 65, 68. And then I think this base is over $100. It's $110 to $114. If I am wrong, then right below here is going to have the actual price, but I'm pretty sure. I'm calling it a base. They call it a stone stage. So if you're looking it up, if you're on Tony's site, tokushuknife.com, you would type in Nano in the search, and you would see the stone stage as an option. So the 3's doing its work. It's definitely not loading up as fast as some of the other stones. Now, if you're a commercial sharpener, you're done here. Only if somebody's paying you extra money for those super high-end artisan knives, or they're paying money for like a certain level of polish. But you could have definitely jumped from the 200 over the 400 to the 1000, or started at the 400 or started at the 1000, and then the 3000, you're done. So we're done on this. We're going to clean the stone. So if you happen to check in some of their other products, they have a diamond stone. It's a film, a diamond film, their surf stone product that you can cut off and replace, so that way the base stays the same. And it is designed for the much lower grit, below 200. I mean, in the 60 to 110, 120 range. And those are obviously going to be super aggressive. And so there's that vacuum we were talking about. So you can see what I see, just a little bit of low on the south end towards you. This is the 6,000 grit stone. Now, when I'm doing a polish, especially if I'm doing the single beveled knives, I'm really wanting it to be flat. Knife polishers like their concave stones. So we're still working on that. There's a little bit of load right there. I'm sure this is loaded up so it's not being aggressive.
Yeah,
there you go. That's what it was. It was a little bit user error. So let's get the, knife tip is, knife sharpening tip is get the load off of the last stone. You don't want to put it on this one. So, progressively, I mean, this 6,000, it doesn't feel a lot different than the 3. I told you the 3 felt like a 5 or a 6. So this 6 could definitely be like a 6 to a 7 to an 8. Now, we do edge leading strokes no higher than 8K. At this point, the edge is going to be half the size of a human hair. And you're going to stress the edge out. So we can do some deburring with edge leading strokes. We will not do any edge leading strokes on the 10K stone. Again, the 10K is, it's privilege. It's pampering. It's a little extra. If you deserve extra, go for it. I'm excited to use it. I have like a paper towel ready to see what we can do with this VG10. So if those of you who can't tell, because like I said, all the stones look different. I mean, we went 200, 400, 1,000, 3,000. We're on the 6. And I can glance right over there and see the 10K stone looks the same color. So it's the same color ceramic. It's also, everything is recyclable and recyclable is the word I'm supposed to be looking. Because it has the aluminum backing and then the material that it's made of, they were just very forward thinking. I could not find the information on like silicon carbide or aluminum carbide. Like, I didn't see what it was made of. I just wasn't information that was available on their site. Okay, so let's just do some edge leading strokes. I'm going to clean this up real quick. So the edge is actually being pushed into the stone. for those of you who hadn't seen that yet. So I'm pulling it, putting pressure on the knife throughout. So now that I've done all that pressure, I need to ease up, almost like a stropping pressure, but still edge leading. Now, normally in my practice, we would be stropping on leather, and we would even have diamond emulsion. Their goal is to see what the stones can do on their own. So we're trying to like just deburr on this stone. So again, this is a 6K, edge leading strokes. We will do our stropping on the 10K. Okay, so we're jumping up to a super fine stone right now. Really, glassy stone. A lot of people never own a stone at the grit that we're about to jump into. I own a 12,000 and a 9,000. So I have felt finer. Yeah, so it's in there. They had that like vacuum seal kind of a thing. All right. Okay, so here is the 10K. The 1 micron does not get the fluffy animal on it. It's got the ominous black anodized aluminum backing.
Which if you memorize the colors, you would know about when you look at the edge.
There you go. We memorize the colors. Let's all get on that. So let's see how flat this is. We're switching. We have the 1200 plate to just check. Let's put a little water. I don't really want to throw water up there that's got a different size micron of particle. That vacuum sealing's happening. That's why you see it moving. Yeah. It's definitely vacuum sealed. So definitely, if you're a person who wants your stones flat, no matter what they say, check. There we go. Okay, so we're getting the edges. All right, these stones are done. Kind of doing the clean as we go method. All right, the knife is clean. We don't want the load up. We've done edge leading. So I really kind of think that the burr has been removed at this point. So I'm not trying to make a burr. That could be a bad call on my part. So I've got super light pressure right now. This is super glassy. Again, that mirror polish. So my pressure is gravity. My hand, it's almost like I'm doing this with my hand sitting on it. So if I remember the name of this knife properly, I think it's like Kintaga. And then I'll have to put the word on the screen for you. So it's its own shape. Like I said, it's the Santoku Bunka kind of hybrid. It's got a little bit of a belly. So you've seen me do a little bit of like a rocking to kind of make sure that the belly's taken care of. There's not a lot of load up on the stone. Again, I'm not trying to be like aggressive. I'm just kind of polishing, making like a nice shiny 1 micron polish. The human eye is not supposed to be able to detect scratches below 3 micron. So this would be a very super shiny edge. So again, hand resting, and that's it. You can see the stone is just not loading up really bad considering how little I'm pressing. So we're just making sure that we do the entire length kind of even to get the polish. Okay, so now we're going to do like a stropping technique. So I'm putting my weight here and I'm distributing the weight, pressing down with this hand as it slides across. So it had like even tension. Trying to strop at the same angle I sharpened. Now there was a question in a different video, was I worried about getting a wire edge without using the leather? And the answer would be that on a knife with a Rockwell hardness of 61 or higher, the knife is so sharp that you do not get a wire edge. So let me explain. A wire edge, just so we don't have this question this week, a wire edge, you get a burr and then you flip the burr, but a wire edge is when you're done sharpening, you end up with a burr that's like straight up. You didn't rip it off. Okay, so you end up having like the knife and then you have like the extra burr that's just standing straight up. That tends to happen on softer steel, 60 or below. Okay, so no, I am not worried about having a wire edge. One of the things that'll happen with the wire edge is you will be sharp on your very first cut, and then after you cut something, you will balloon or mushroom over the wire edge and it will fall over the actual true apex, and the knife will almost be instantly dull. You will just feel like, what just happened to my knife? And that definitely happens on the softer steels. Okay, so we did some stropping. Let's get the blade completely clean. So again, for those listening, this is the Sakai Takayuki VG10 Kintaga. I do not have the millimeter on this, probably about 165 millimeter. I'm getting ready to do some cutting. I'm gonna let my wife get a close-up of the edge of this blade, hand sharpened. I think it looks pretty even. I don't know if we can see it.
Lighting, no.
Okay. And let's just go ahead and turn it over. Okay. So we had no problems. You know, obviously when you saw me earlier, it looks kind of like fake, like he's not even trying. But I mean, I shouldn't have to try. You know, if it's sharp, it bites. Let's do a push cut. So we're just going to push. Okay, so the page was kind of billowing over a little bit. So that was no problem. Let's get it again. I'm up underneath the GoPro here. You can see that the page is trying not to make sure I don't lose my fingers or parts of my DNA. Let's do a little curve cut. That was no problem. And now paper towel. For those of you who are new into the knife sharpening game, paper towel is a little more difficult. Tissue is even more. So we got it going pretty good. We'll try one more. Let's start down here at the bottom. So I got a little tearing. Could be the knife sharpener. Could be me. But that's nice. So yeah, so that's nice. So, and I always have fun cutting stuff up. My wife comes home and there's like stuff everywhere. So, and then this was, remember, this was not deburred, it was deburred on the stone. So the entire system, I mean, definitely the stage is on the pricier side. Is it nice? Yes, it's a luxury item. It's nice. It does hold everything completely for you. The stones do fit in your current stone holder. So if you have the Naniwa or a copy of the stone holder, if you have different sink bridges, it fits right in there. It's not a problem. So you don't have to buy the stone stage. Stone stage is a step up. And when I said to my wife what I felt about this was, and I don't know if you'll understand the analogy. When you look at cars, you look at like the Japanese-made cars and Hondas, and you look at American-made Jeep, you can tell the difference between the products. But something that's always stood out to me is like Cadillac. Cadillac just seems like this American-made thing. This definitely has like an American-made feeling to it. Just some of the touches with the steel backing on it. I don't think that the pricing's out of line. Obviously, you can get a Kingstone for $20 cheaper. Do I love the system? Sure, absolutely. Is it like super amazing? I mean, it's really great. I used the Japanese natural stones, and if you saw me on that video, you knew that that was something I just was not a fan of. So I love the Morihei, and I think that these and the Morihei are about the same price. So I do think these are in the like a little bit more of a luxury stone item with everything that comes with it. The product itself was great. I think it speaks for itself. I can't wait to actually sharpen like super blue. Even trying out some of my like ZDP 189 or HAP 40 on here. It looks amazing. Look, and I've got it all filthy because I got to take better care of my stuff. Packaged great, American made, feels great, did its job. You feel like you're holding something special. You know what I mean? It's like the big SUVs. You know, you just get in them and you're like, man, like I'm sitting up on the road. I'm just doing a little bit better than else. I'm not trying to sell you on it. I think it's awesome. The price point is there. I do want to point out, I didn't say it, the 6K was around 93, and then the 10K was over 100. I think that was around $110. So you definitely got $200 invested in the last two stones, and you don't need them. 66, 65, 65, 68, and then 79, and you're completely set. No matter how dull the knife is to what you need to go to, you can get it done. You don't need the stone stage, but it is awesome. So with that being said, great system.
What about the availability?
So my wife is asking me about availability. I haven't seen that was an issue. I mean, so the availability is, it's an American made product. It's on this continent, if you're in America. A lot of you people watching, or you're in Europe. I'm not really sure about the European market, how you have it. Tokishu knife is actually available. He's out of Michigan. So if you're on domestic soil, and if you're in Canada, he's right there across the border. For all my friends above the border, my Canadian friends, this is probably something you're going to be able to get pretty easily. I'm going to apologize to Europe. I'm not sure what the shipping rates are going to be for that. Complete system. If you need something more aggressive, they do have the diamond. So they do literally have everything. I also challenge you to look at something that I did not bring up today. The resin bonded strop, it's got me like, what's going on? It's a long stick for the super long stroke, especially for those 300 millimeter knives. I think this company went extra to make sure that they provided everything for you. They even have like diamond resin bonded stones as well. So they really have like everything. The Morihei stones really got me excited. Shapton glass, Shapton ceramics are like amazing. This definitely is right there. If you're a Shapton fan, I have not used my Superstones in forever. I haven't gotten out the Nano Superstone. To me, this is a little bit better priced than a lot of the Shapton with the quality of the Shapton. Okay, and so I think that says a lot for you. And it's just a little something different. So I appreciate you guys checking in with me. Look for these stones being used in some of our upcoming Whetstone wars. I appreciate Tony and Tokishu Knife for providing this for our review today. Everything I read, everyone was excited, and I totally think that it lived up to everything that I already read about. I had fun. Thank you for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you next Friday. And we appreciate your support. God bless you, and hopefully this was not a dull moment. God bless.